Hi, welcome back to Halton Warren 009. I'm Mark, and this is part 2 of the market stalls and market barrows. As you probably saw in the last video, we put two different products together. One was from Ann Halton, and I kept calling it Ann Compton, so apologies for that. But that was market barrows. The other one was the scale model sceneries, and that was model market stalls. Both similar to put together, quite delicate to do, but they turned out quite well. Before I showed a comparison though, really between the two of them, I said that I'd come across some more market stalls and I was going to give those a go, and that's what this video is about. So the ones we've come against and we're going to put together this week are the wheels kit, which is 2 market barrows, and then the other one is something I spotted on eBay when I was looking for something totally different. And these are from John's Model Railways, and these are just cardboard printouts that you cut out. It's literally cut out and stick. So I thought I'd give those a go as well. Now last week when I was talking about these, I said that I wasn't sure about them because they were stripy, and I wasn't sure that on my railway in the 1920s they would have had stripy awnings on their market stalls. How wrong was I? Again, looking for something totally different, I came across this picture of Macclesfield railway station. Outside is a horse fair or a cattle market going on, and there's some sort of fairground going on, but they have got stripy awnings on their little stalls, and I think they're more sideshows than market stalls, but just proves I was wrong. They have got these. They're not bright and colourful though, they're quite weathered and quite old, which is one of the things I was mentioning last week. Anyway, to get on with these this week, as I say, these are printed on cardboard. There's 6 of those, different colours, and they were £3 for 6, so they're a pretty good bargain actually. And then the wheels kit was £7.50 for 2, but that's a sturdier kit, and obviously it's plastic. Now I've cheated slightly because when I was reading through these instructions, I was a little bit confused. So I thought if I video them and try and do them as per the instructions as I video them, it's going to draw out. So I've actually put one of these together. I'm pleased I did, because when you work through the instructions as you're making these up, it does become a lot clearer. So without further ado, I'll set up and I'll show you how to put these together. Wheels kits, I think we're all familiar with those. Market Traders Barrows stalls, so they're calling these barrows and stalls. They are barrows, they've actually got wheels on them so they can be moved around. 2 in the box, £7.50, slightly more expensive I suppose because they're plastic and a bit more robust. These ones come with a bit of detail as well. Being plastic, we need slightly different things to put them together. So we have got a scalpel with a new blade in it again. I'm quite heavy-handed when it comes to plastic and blades, so I've got a few spares as well. I've left my sprue cutters down in the shed, so I'm going to have to do without those. We are going to be using Deluxe Models Plastic Magic to glue it together. When we take them off the sprues, I've got a little flat needle file just to clean them up as well. I'm going to put these together and paint them later. Some people with their plastic kits do like painting first and then putting together, but I think this one's fairly basic. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem actually putting them together first. So what do we get in the box? A nice plastic box, keep for windows in the future, glazing. We've got the instructions, which is just an exploded diagram, nothing to read. That's what we like, isn't it? We might not even follow those, you know what us blokes are like. Right, so we have got 3 sprues, 1 for each barrow, and then we have got the loads to go in it. So the loads that come with this is we've got fruit and veg, which would be lovely to paint all those little bits together. This one I thought was books, but looking at something else, I think it was when I ordered them online, they're supposed to be cloth, what they call them, bolts of cloth or something. But yeah, I suppose you could do either, couldn't you? You could use them as books and magazines, or rolls of cloth, bulks of cloth, and then you've got the 2 canopies on top. So we'll do one and see how we get on. So first of all, I'm obviously going to cut the parts off. I'm going to whiz through that and then get back to you in a minute. So looking at these bits, we've got the front axle and we have got two small wheels to go on that one. We've got the rear axle and we've got the two larger wheels to go on there. Then we've got the Barrow base or table, which obviously goes that way round because there's a dimple on there and a little hole on there. And then we've got the two frames and the roof. So, just got to glue this lot together. Right, so each of these kits is made up of 3 pieces. So we've got the main body of the tent, we've got the little stool that goes inside, and then we've got the little back seam that goes in, and this has got the front cloth, the goods, and a little person selling it. So what we're going to do first of all is cut out each bit, and then we'll stick it all together. Right, the other bit we've got to cut is just down these lines here. So it's following the dark lines just up to where they turn to solid green, and that's just to help when we fold it in a moment. Do the one down there as well. Right, next we've got to fold up the different sections. So going across here we've got some green lines, so we just need to put a score mark on those. Right, so there's the canopy all lined up and cut out. Just a little spit on that tag there needs going. Clear the workspace. Right, for this we've now got to fold it in. So what we've got to do is fold these 3 pieces in first, and we just need a bit of glue on the back. Obviously just to stick them on with. And I'm still using the Rocket card glue. Don't need a huge amount. Sticks really quickly as well. And then all we do is fold these flaps over, and because we've scored them, they fold over nice and square and very easily. Put minimum amount of glue on there so it doesn't all come sticking out the top of it. And then the last one. As you can see where I've scored it, they do fold over really easy. Just get rid of the excess glue on there. Right, so that's the sides done. Now we've got to fold in the roof. So to do that we just need to fold in the tags that we're going to glue. Again, these are being scored so they flap in nice and easily. Let's fold them down, then we can push them up when it actually needs it. This one folds in that way, and then it folds down the centre for the ridge, and there's like a little valance on the front there, so we can push that down. Then all we've got to do is fold the sides in, and this is made a bit easier because this is the line we cut down. So as you can see there where it's opened up, it's just easier to fold it over. What I was thinking about doing these, I was thinking about getting a nice sharp crease down. Now I thought, well, it's supposedly a canvas, or so it would never have a nice sharp crease down there. It'll always be curved. Right, so that's those sides put in. All we do now, and I think it's going to be easier, just put a dab of glue on the back ones first. Then we can fold those in. Bring up the back and then just hold it in place just while that tacks on. Say, rocket glue does dry very fast. There, just make sure it's square when you put it on, and then push the back inside tab on. so it touches. That's it, that bit's dry. And then if we just bend this canopy back a little tag, we can just get a little bit more glue on these. Don't want too much because obviously when you squeeze it's just going to come pouring out. Bend that in, just put the tag up, make sure it lines up on the outside nicely and neatly. That one as well. And then you can just squeeze down the valance again. So that's the main body, the main canopy together. Right, so the next one to do is the little stand that goes inside there. So we'll put this out of the way. Clear some of the offcuts away again. And so we're now going to cut out and do this one. So that's that one cut out. All we've got to do is fold this one as well. So we need to do some score lines. Each of these lines gets folded. This is actually Sally's Bargains, so they're all bric-a-brac and stuff like that. So you can see some coloured lines there. So before I cut this one out, I'm just going to score those, because otherwise it's hard to see on the picture where you've got to do the actual scoring. Using the back of the scalpel again, so you're not cutting through, you're just putting some score lines to help you bend it neatly. Right, and then we can cut that out, so it's just cutting the four side. So this is the back, because obviously the person's going to stand up. There's a little person here, they're going to stand up straight. The goods you want laying out flat, because that's the counter, so we bend that way. And then this bit at the front is kind of the valance, or the front cover, so bend it that way. So make a nice little zigzag shape of that. We get our little market stool together. Bit of glue on it. And then, as I say, this dries or grabs very quickly, so we just try and line this up as square as we can as we do it. There we go. Just push it in place. Hold it for a second while the glue grabs it and dries. And that's it, that's finished. So there's the little market stall with the person selling their goods, and then the canopy just literally sits over the top. So you can have the person inside, or you can move it out a bit so they're kind of sticking out a little bit. You can do it how you want. That's it. That's got to be the easiest of the kits to do. Obviously there's no colouring on there, and that is hopefully done. So what I'm going to do now is paint up the other bits and pieces, and then we'll compare all the market stalls and the barrows together and see which ones we like. So I'll get back to you shortly. So as you can see, these are the Pt2 ones, and I've painted them up. And following on from my revelation that actually I've got things wrong and they did have stripy tops, I painted these. Now I think I should have put a few more stripes on them, but I think they're coming on alright, just adds a bit of colour. The ones from Scale Model Scenery and from Halton, I have changed the canopies on them. I've used tissue paper. I should have tried to find something that wasn't quite so patterned, but it gives it a bit of texture, and I think they've worked out quite well. Certainly this one I'm quite pleased with. It's it looks a bit more of the time. You know, it's people wouldn't have had a lot to spend on their barrows, so any tarpaulins or anything they bought to make the covers on them, I think would have had to last a few years, and therefore they wouldn't be nice and crisp like these ones maybe. So that's with that one. I have managed to paint this one up a bit. The other one's about half painted. The Scale Model Sceneries one, again, I've used the tissue paper on top, soaked it with PVA glue to just make it nice and hard, and then just painted them. This one obviously is a brown. I've tried to do different browns. It still needs a bit of work on just to blend it in a bit. Now the only thing I'm concerned about these is that I should have looked at them a bit more, because I think the height from the floor to the top is there is a bit high. I'm 6'5", and when I'm walking around, I'm about level with the kind of market stall, so that should have come down a bit to here. I think I should have just trimmed these edges off. But I'm really pleased with these. I was going to try and choose my favourites, the ones I was going to use on the layout, and I like them all. Even these ones, these are the ones from John's Model Railways. As I say, they look a bit more modern with the sides on them, and they're crisp, and the innards you get as well, although they show the products and stuff, it looks like a modern till there, but unless you really look you can't see it, so I think they're going to fit in as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a mixture of these. I'm certainly going to use these two. I'm going to use these as well. I've got to find goods and things to go on there. I've had a few ideas. I've been searching the internet for 1920s market barrows, and it's amazing the different range that were about. They sold tools, there was knife sharpeners, sold milk from them, there was locksmiths. There was just a whole range of different trades that were operating off these barrows and stalls. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a bit of a play with it. There's not much of a hurry on these because I'm still doing the layout as a whole. I want to get my track finished first before I get onto the scenery. But when I do start the scenery, I might just start at that Halton St Mary end, and the market will be part of that. And I think I might use one or two of these as well, because I think it just adds a bit of variety. And I've got some plans for these ones as well, because some of them came without canopies, and I think those are the ones, maybe a hot chestnut stall, something like that. But as you can see, they've turned out really well. They're all within scale, they all look right together, and it's just nice to have that mix up. Well then, that's the end of part 2 of the market stalls. Apologies again for it taking so long. I hope to have 2 weeks between the part 1 and part 2. It stretched out a lot more than that, and that's basically the wife's been on holiday from Rockquire and WI. It's not her fault, so it's just the way things go. That's the way her program goes with the things she does, but it means I haven't had the opportunity to get up here to do any modelling. But at least we've finished it now. I'm quite pleased with those models. As I say, I'm going to be using a mixture. So what's next? The next project will be done next Tuesday night. When she's out again. That will be the Metcalfe kit I bought. Now I bought 2 and showed you those a couple of months ago. One was the shop and the tea room, the other one was just the town corner house, something like that, and it's just a house. Now where it's situated on the model railway, that's kind of going to be the hub of the village, so I'm going to have the market there, that shop's going to be there. I've got another shop that I'm going to be working on soon, and it just seems, yeah, villages you get shop house, yeah, and a mixture of the two. But I just wanted something different brought in as well to make it a real hub and a bit of a vibe in that that village area. So that house I'm going to upgrade or convert, whatever you like to call it, into a pub. Now, I bought the custom signs from Sankey, and that's what I'm going to use. As I say, that's the project for next Tuesday, which is a week from tonight. It should be straightforward and quite an easy project to do, and I'm hoping it's going to transform that model. I've seen something similar on the Sankey websites when I was looking at their signs and stuff on there, and they do come out quite nicely. So I'm quite looking forward to doing that. So until then, I'll bid you farewell, and I'll see you in about 2 weeks' time. Take care. Bye.